Are you and your family prepared for 2025? Shane here from Modern Warrior Project, and that's exactly the topic we're going to cover today. In particular, we're going to discuss potential shortages and how you can get ahead of the curve and safeguard your family and community. As we look ahead to 2025, there are several issues and concerns that could lead to shortages in essential goods. With ongoing supply chain disruptions, inflation, and geopolitical tensions, it's important to stay ahead of the curve and be proactive with your measures. So let's go ahead and break down some of those potential shortages on the list. First on the list, food supplies. You've seen it numerous times in your life, I'm sure, as to how fast the shelves empty out anytime there's a disaster on the horizon or emergency. So it's good to go ahead and stock up now on those non-perishable items, things such as rice, pasta, dry goods with a long shelf life, and make sure that you're also rotating your stock. That's one of the things that I find continuously challenged and often I fall short on. So make sure you're rotating your stock as well. While having food supplies stocked is great, the absolute pinnacle of self-reliance is growing your own food. So it doesn't matter even if you live in an urban environment. Go ahead and start a garden. Even a small garden can provide you a good amount of fresh produce when done right. And no better time than now to start learning that skill. It's a great skill to develop as well. Next, let's talk about tools and equipment. With manufacturing slowdowns and all the economic turmoil, a lot of the parts and pieces may become scarce and hard to find. So go ahead and start stocking up on your tools, and I'd recommend stocking up on critical parts, things for such like as your maintenance of your house, your vehicles, maybe some of your self-defense items. Having those parts in stock and the knowledge and skills, start developing those now to go ahead and do that maintenance on your own. Energy shortages are another potential concern. With fluctuating fuel prices and possible disruptions in the energy sector and everything that's going on there, you got to be prepared to supplement or provide your own power. So go ahead and start looking at alternative power sources, things such as generators, solar generators, having fuel stocked with stabilizer. Whatever it is, just start taking in and accounting for ways to get around power outages. Medical supplies are a huge one. If you made it through the last pandemic, you know that shortages can happen quickly. And also, we're such an interconnected global economy and supply system now that can drastically affect you at home, especially if you're not going along with the desired government implementation. So go ahead and start stocking up on supplies that you can now. There's plenty of ways to do that, from your basic first aid to even your medicine. Talk to your doctor about getting some potential prescriptions that you can have in a store with a decent shelf life. Also, knowledge is power here. So start studying up, potentially take first aid, CPR classes as you can as well. Finally, don't overlook financial preparedness. Go ahead and start. The reason I got into prepping in the first place was, or not necessarily the first place, but what has been my long-going concern is an economic collapse. Whether it happens or not, who's to say, but I do think it's something you should definitely be prepared for. Diversify your investments. Consider keeping cash on hand, but not just cash, because hyperinflation can make that useless real fast. Consider having precious metals and other potential commodities that you could barter in such an economic collapse type scenario. And remember, prepping, it's not about living in fear or paranoia. In fact, I would say it's just the opposite. It's about mitigating for potential crisis, disasters, and various scenarios that may or may not occur. Nonetheless, you have backstops in place and you have a peace of mind that you can safeguard and protect your family and whatever matters most to you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell for notifications. Share it with your friends. Let's help to build up the prepper community. A self-reliant community is good for all of us because we can all pull together when times get hard and make sure we all make it through. And that's ultimately what we want with the Modern Warrior Project. Make sure you check out our site, check out the description. I've got a ton of resources that we give for free to help you get there and get it all in place. Until next time, stay vigilant, friends.